What's going on, everybody? This is Jay. Welcome back to my podcast. Yeah, I've waited quite a bit of time, almost a week, in fact, since I filmed my last episode, which was a couple of days after the midterms. Well, of course, we have an update on that. Republicans, I don't know if it's official or not, but it's basically certain at this point that they will take control of the House and that the Democrats have or will maintain control of the Senate. They have the 48 seats needed, plus their two independents that are dedicated to the Democratic Party. And then obviously, Kamala, whether or not they need her, whether or not Walker's going to win, she'll be the deciding factor, obviously, like it's been. So things are either going to stay the same in the Senate, or the Democrats will just have one more seat. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But yeah, this leads me to say that Trump, as I'm sure all of you are aware of, made a big announcement, a huge announcement, uh, this Tuesday, literally a week after the midterms. He announces that he's gonna be running for president, which honestly didn't surprise me at all. I mean, I figured that was like the most obvious thing. And let's be frank here. Did any of us doubt this at all? Do you think after he lost the 2020 election, just the way he went out, the whole January 6th situation, the election denial, did you really think he was going to go away? No, no, he's not going to go away. So, honestly, though, I thought, well, not, I didn't actually think this, but I figured, you know what? If it's a huge announcement, is he not only running in 2024, but is he also going to create like a new political party? Is that what he's going to do? Because Roosevelt tried that in 1912, but it split the Republican vote and we ended up with the horrible Woodrow Wilson. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. I mean, it seems ridiculous, but I mean, there's always that possibility that Trump just creates the Trumplican party, and then you have DeSantis representing the Republican Party. They're going at it. There's a lot of, and it rejuvenates the Democrats, and they end up winning the election. So there's always that possibility, especially when like a libertarian comes in, they win like 5-10%. That can happen as well. But anyway, I've had a lot to think about with this whole midterm situation and who was a referendum on. It is honestly, the more I think about it, the more obvious it's becoming to me that yeah, Trump really was a referendum on the 2022 midterms, which is unbelievable. A guy who has in office right now, who has a 41% approval rating, who the country is not that fond of, is currently in office. They don't lose Senate, even though the Senate's tied, and they lose only a few seats. They basically run into the blue wall, and the guy who is not in office is receiving the referendum because he's that disruptive and he's that unpopular with Americans right now. Now, he announced his 2024 bid for president, and uh, I mean, did we really, like I said, did we really expect anything else? He said the other day that it was going to be the most important speech in American history, which is one hell of a stretch. I mean, is it more important than the Gettysburg Address? Like seriously? Okay, maybe it is. So I was very, very excited for this, and he said what he needed to say. He called, he made fun of Biden a little bit. He said our country is gonna we're gonna make America great again. It's gonna be tremendous, incredible. All of the giant, huge adjectives that Trump uses. It's tremendous. It's incredible. It's like you've never seen before. It's your normal Trump speech. It was a very long speech, but honestly, and I said this last week. I said if the Republican Party wants to succeed, they need to forget about Trump because guess what? There are still a lot. There's a lot. Let me put it this way: there's a lot of people out there that do love him, right? And they will love him no matter what. But that's a that's becoming a smaller and a smaller percentage of people. There's a lot of Republicans out there, or people that are, let's say, not happy with the Democrats, that want Ron DeSantis to run because maybe they want somebody who's more conservative that can come in and fix things up, right? So, like I see it all the time. I see people like I watch I watch both conservative and liberal podcasts. I see what some of the people are saying, and all of them in the comments are like, you know what? If Trump better get out of the way, or he's not going to win. Yeah, honestly, they should run DeSantis. Oh, we should run DeSantis. This, and that. So it's kind of a Ron over Don thing. And the thing is why I don't think this is going to work out for Trump at all. And hey, I could be completely wrong here, but the last 3 elections have been a referendum on him, all right? We are not in the same situation as we were in 2016 because things were a little bit different. Trump's 2015-16 campaign was crazy. It was like nothing America had ever seen before. He was saying things that seemed completely crazy, outrageous. Like, how does somebody have the balls to say something like this? And but a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people were like, wow, he's speaking truth. And so the 2016 election became more of a referendum on Hillary, and thank God he was running against Hillary. So because I don't know if he would have beaten somebody like Sanders because he was way more popular than Hillary was. So it ended up being more of a referendum on her because the truth of the matter is that I think, and I could be mistaken about this, Trump actually had less votes in 2016 than Mitt Romney did, and Mitt Romney lost pretty handily against Obama in 2012. It's just that Hillary Clinton was so unpopular with Americans that she lost millions of voters that Trump actually came out on top. So it was a low turnout election. And I think a lot of Americans out there were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what? Maybe this is just his campaign. Maybe he's just going to be tweeting out of his ass, saying all these ridiculous things. Maybe it's going to stop. But no, it continued around throughout his presidency. In 2018, he was rather unpopular, and he lost. Obviously, he had full Congress. He lost the House, so it was split again. And so as soon as 2020 hit, it was like we had COVID. Trump kept saying crazy things out of his ass. People were sick of his whole Twitter trigger finger. I mean, basically how it was is Trump, I mean, through 4 years he was undermining the accomplishments of his entire administration. It's like every few times he took to Twitter, he would say something outrageous. It was like every time he pressed the tweet button, it was basically like him pulling the trigger to his 47, except he's pointing it at himself. That's basically how that's how you sum up his entire administration as a metaphor because he did do a lot of good things. I mean, I don't like everything that he did, but he did some good, I think. But you know, regardless, he's his own worst enemy, and I don't think anybody will disagree with me on that. And it was so bad in 2020 that it allowed Biden to just sit in the basement, play Mario Kart, stuff his face with ice cream, and he won. That's it. I mean, to be because the thing is, and I mean that's not to say that Biden wasn't criticized by the media at times, but he was not nearly as criticized as Trump was. That's certainly not true because the whole referendum was on Trump. And when the election is a referendum on somebody, the media is going to focus in on that person. And it's not like they weren't doing that before because, I mean, Trump made the media's job so easy for 4 years. Everybody's ratings were up. So the media loves Trump. And guess what? Ever since then, he lost the election, he lost 2 Senate seats. This election was a referendum on him. Ever since 2016, when he took office, he's been self-defeating. That's undoubted. Last 6 years, that's how it's been for Trump. He's hurt his party more and more as time has gone on. And guess what? The media, they're going to have a great time with this because he is now, and very early on, announcing literally a week after the midterm, he's announcing his bid for the 2024 election. And so, and I honestly, I think the smart thing to do would be to wait until everybody else has sort of made their decision and then jump in at like the last minute, you know, and then, you know, you can sure attack DeSantis, do this and that, but and that would be the smart thing to do. But Trump, because he has no self control, he decides that he's just going to announce and he's just going to attack everybody. He's going to attack everybody on his own party. He's going to attack Biden. He's going to do everything that he's been doing ever since he's been in politics because he has absolutely no self control and he's a bully. That's just how it is. I mean, all this will be entertaining for sure. I mean, the media will get a huge kick out of it. So, as somebody, like I said, who's just on the sidelines, kind of just watching everybody fight each other, it's going to be fun. I'm more of an independent. You guys probably can tell maybe that I lean to the right a little bit, but I'm basically a centrist, and this is going to be really fun to watch. All right, it's fun sometimes. It's sad, but it's fun to watch the Dems and the pubs fight each other. The elephant and the donkey's just going at it, and us independents are just sitting on the sideline like, okay, yeah, let them fight. Let them fight. Go ahead. It's fine. This is how it is now. Let's just, you know what? If we can't, it's better to laugh than to cry at it because it's sad, the political strife. But then when we watch it, it's so fun sometimes. It just is. And the media's it's gonna be so good. Honestly, if he runs again, and what's so great about it, what was so great about 2015 and 2016 was that he was like this garrulous real estate agent who was just talking out of his ass. And he was saying these insane things, and the media would eat it up. It was so funny, and we never thought he was gonna win, but he did. He did it, and it was different about well in 2020. Obviously, he was the president, so it was entertaining, but it's like, okay, we're used to this now. It's not like he's trying to get elected. Guess what? He's trying to get elected again. So this is going to be so fun to watch. Oh, man. I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what kind of nicknames he comes up with. Doesn't mean I love the guy. I mean, I think he's not that great of a person. I think he's a narcissist. I don't want to see him as president again, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be super entertaining. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting these next 2 years, especially that Trump has already is already in the public eye. So even though he's not president, he's still going to get way more attention than Biden will. And honestly, that's what the Democrats need to win. I mean, if DeSantis doesn't do anything and Republicans if Trump takes down all the other Republicans, then it's going to be a repeat of 2020, and you're going to see Biden in the White House for 4 more years, which honestly, I did not expect. I mean, if Trump doesn't become the nominee and somebody else does, there's a pretty good chance that Biden is going to be defeated, as long as the person he's running against doesn't scream election denial, election denial, election denial, January 6th, fake media, this, and that. So it is. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Oh, man, this is crazy political times we live in. It's gonna get crazier. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you later.